BJP's Chowkidar campaign set social media ablaze all through the weekend and even today. The Congress had been attacking the Prime Minister over the last several weeks, saying Chowkidar Chor hai. The Prime Minister counter-attacked, saying Main bhi Chowkidar, and the BJP social media army got involved, saying Chowkidar phir se. So who won the big Chowkidar debate? Well, the out-and-out winner in this battle, at least on social media, was the Main bhi Chowkidar hashtag, registering, when we last checked, 1.46 million impressions across social media. In contrast, the Chowkidar phir se, which also is an associated campaign linked to the Main bhi Chowkidar campaign, received 303,000 impressions on last count, whereas the Congress's campaign on Chowkidar Chor hai received only 169,000 odd impressions. Very clearly, the Main bhi Chowkidar campaign was an out-and-out social media winner. Now, the critical question is, and I'll debate that in just a moment, in the manner in which the Prime Minister was able to use Manishankar Iyer's Chaiwala attack, he's now using the Chowkidar attack, positioning himself as the Chowkidar. But that's where Priyanka Gandhi had a counterpunch to offer, saying it's only the rich who can afford a Chowkidar. Here's the story.
आप आश्वस्त रहिए, आपका ये चौकीदार पूरी तरह से चौकन्ना है.
Over 48 hours after Prime Minister Modi launched his new campaign slogan for the upcoming elections, the word Chowkidar has not just captured the nation's imagination, but also the internet. Not just top ministers, several Modi supporters have prefixed Chowkidar to their social media handles. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had portrayed himself as the Chowkidar of the country in 2014. Congress has been using the word Chowkidar, targeting the PM for his role in the Rafale deal. BJP's Twitter campaign is an attempt to counter the Chowkidar Chor hai narrative that was being built by Rahul Gandhi and the Congress. Since BJP's Main bhi Chowkidar campaign launched, Congress has upped the ante.
चौकीदार चोरी करते हुए पकड़ा गया और जैसे ही चौकीदार चोरी करते हुए पकड़ा गया, चौकीदार कहता है पूरा हिंदुस्तान चौकीदार.
So who is winning the battle of the Chowkidars? Statistics reveal that both the hashtags Main bhi Chowkidar and Chowkidar phir se ruled Twitter over the weekend. Hashtag Main bhi Chowkidar received around 1.5 million mentions on Twitter, followed by hashtag Chowkidar phir se with around 3 lakh tweets. Hashtag Chowkidar Chor hai, used by the Congress and its supporters, received just over 163,000 mentions, which is almost 10% of the number of times hashtag Main bhi Chowkidar got mentioned. The tweet posted by the Prime Minister was the most engaging, receiving around 55,000 retweets and more than 150,000 likes. Congress President Rahul Gandhi's response received around 11,000 retweets and just about 37,000 likes. While BJP may have won the social media war of the hashtags, the question is, which campaign will be able to sway more voters? With Nikhil Rampal, Bureau Report, India Today.
Main bhi Chowkidar versus Chowkidar Chor hai has the Prime Minister's counter-attack blunted Rahul Gandhi's Chowkidar Chor hai attack. Joining us on this Newstrack discussion, I want to introduce first Nalin Kohli, national spokesperson of the BJP. Squaring off against him, Shama Mohammed, spokesperson of the Congress. Swati Chaturvedi is an author and columnist, and Rajat Sethi is an author, joining us on this discussion. So welcome to all our guests. Shama Mohammed, to you first. The Congress for the longest time kept attacking the Prime Minister, saying Chowkidar Chor hai. In a classic case of ambush marketing, he's taken it, turned it around, thrown it back at the Congress, saying Main bhi Chowkidar. It's gone viral, generating a global record number of impressions. Has the Congress's attack been counter-attacked and totally blunted?
I don't agree at all. Now, Rahul, Prime Minister Mr. Modi is not just, I'm not talking as a spokesperson, Mr. Modi is also the Prime Minister, my Prime Minister. Nirmala Sitharaman is my Defence Minister, and Sushma Swaraj is my Foreign Minister. Now, you see it on your Twitter handle as Chowkidar Narendra Modi. If you translate it, I was shocked when I saw that. If world leaders translate it or around the world, they see Watchman Narendra Modi, Watchman Sushma Swaraj, Watchman Smriti Irani. So isn't that compromising the position of the Prime Minister? Isn't that bringing it down by putting such...
How does it bring it down? When the Prime Minister says that's the Congress's classist, elitist way of looking at the world. Earlier, no Prime Minister spoke of Swachhta the way Narendra Modi speaks of Swachhta. He's out there with a broom himself. He's going out cleaning the feet of the cleaners and the sweepers, saying this is a very different Prime Minister who views the world, views this country very differently from the likes of Shama Mohammed and others in the Congress.
So let me finish, Rahul. I'm just coming to that. Now, when he was campaigning in 2014, he said, yes, I'm your Chowkidar. I'm going to take care of you. That's what he's been telling all of us till now. And he's changed it. So that means, what is he trying to do? That there is a 45-year unemployment, high unemployment in our country. We have a farmer distress, which is, again, farmer income growth is at a 14-year low. We have GDP, again, a 5-year low. We have our rupee, which has touched rocket very high compared to the dollar. We have soldiers which have been... Wait a minute. So what I'm trying to say is...
Finish till the time
let me finish.
You can't
please,
go off on a tangent. This is about the Chowkidar Chor hai versus the Main Bhi Chowkidar debate. I'll come to you. You made that point a million times in the past as well.
Yeah, Rahul,
no, one second.
So let me finish.
I think Nalin Kohli, the attack that came from Priyanka Gandhi was much more potent than the attack that we've seen from Shama Mohammed so far. Priyanka Gandhi said it's only the rich who can afford to have Chowkidars. The poor don't have Chowkidars. When the Prime Minister says he's a Chowkidar, Priyanka Gandhi's attack was he is guarding the rich at the expense of the poor. Nalin Kohli, opening words.
Let me finish, Rahul. I wanted to finish one
Shama Mohammed, I will not have you hijack or derail this debate. Shama Mohammed Trader goes down. You had 2 full minutes to speak. Let Nalin Kohli counter you, Shama. Don't turn this into a slanging match. That's not how we run debates. Nalin Kohli.
I think it's a clear message. Narendra Modi ji comes from poverty. He's worked his way up. He came and made a promise that I'm going to be the Chowkidar against corruption, not a scam against this government. I'm going to go after the scamsters. That is seen. Christian Michel is back. The others are also facing full might of the state to bring them back. And he came in to say that I'm going to change India, whether it is in terms of cleanliness, whether it's in terms of cashless economy. I'm going to try to get financial inclusion, all of it. And then comes this manufactured move by the Congress party. Not that the Congress party leader today, Mr. Rahul Gandhi's colleagues, one of his spokespersons calls Mr. Modi to be Masood, Osama, Dawood and ISI. Today another one calls him Namard. I mean, what have we not heard for him? Neej, Bandar, Ghachi, Nipunsak.
Can I comment?
No, but think of it, Nalin Kohli, from the perspective of a brand campaign.
This is a clear
For the
movement.
longest time, Nalin Kohli, the BJP said that Rahul Gandhi's barbs are ineffective. They mean nothing. This whole business of Chowkidar Chore is not hurting. It's of no consequence. Suddenly, the Prime Minister responds by making his own, by changing his own Twitter handle, taking it into Chowkidar Narendra Modi. The entire BJP jumps into it. If the Chowkidar barb wasn't hitting where it hurts, why did the Prime Minister have to turn that attack into this counter attack? Nalin Kohli.
Rahul, can I finish my point?
Shama, I'll come to you. This is not how we run debates. I'm telling you very politely. Let Nalin Kohli complete. I'll come back to you.
Being disturbed. Yes, thank you, Rahul. So the point I want to make is exactly the converse from your opening statement of the program, that it had a record number of impressions on in the social media. This is a movement. It's not just a word. The Congress may be entitled to look at the word Chowkidar from its elitist point of view, say, let's worry about foreign relations, not that they really conduct themselves keeping foreign relations in mind. We have seen what kind of tweets come from their leader. But here what it is, you're seeing a movement. It's not just Modi. It's everyone, and you can see it all down the line, ordinary citizens tying it up with it and using the word Chowkidar. It's a national movement to cleanliness in every sense. Whether it is in terms of actual dirt, whether it's in terms of cashless, whether it is in terms of protecting the country, whether it's in terms of a cleaner economy and no corruption, it's just all of it. It's a national movement to be seen from that perspective.
Swati Chaturvedi, this is a classic case of ambush
Rahul,
marketing. The
can I
Prime
just
Minister
finish my point,
taking
Rahul,
an attack,
please?
blunting
Rahul,
it,
can I just finish
firing
my
it
point,
back at his
please,
opponents,
Rahul? This is
and not
not a
just
justified debate.
senior BJP leaders, but
This is
even
Rahul, I
the
just want to
BJP
finish my point,
supporter
Rahul.
on
You
social
didn't let me
media
finish
seems
my opening
mobilized,
statement.
given the
Can I
sheer
just
number of
finish it,
people
Rahul?
who are saying, "Main bhi Chowkidar." Swati Chaturvedi.
Okay, thank you, Rahul. First of all, I want to say that the person from the Congress representing herself on this program is appalling. I mean, you cannot take this very silly, idiotic perspective. It is very elitist. Secondly, I differ with you on what you're saying because I think Mr. Modi is a genius at marketing. But here, when the BJP keeps saying Rahul Gandhi is totally inconsequential, he's a pappu, yet they get so affected by anything and everything that Rahul Gandhi does. So Mr. Modi has effectively ambushed himself because if you recall, when he did Swachh Bharat or when he even did the voting campaign, a lot of people who are neutral, unaligned, all joined in. In this particular campaign is only the BJP, his ministers and, well, some social media trolls. So it is, I don't think it's a great case of, ambush marketing. Ambush marketing is his own brand because in the other campaigns, a lot of ordinary people, a lot of business people, everybody got involved because it was something which was unifying. Here, this is very divisive and especially with the kind of record that the Modi government has in corruption. We've seen the collapse of the 2G case, we've seen Rafael, we've seen Nirav Modi. I mean, I don't understand, how they can even say this or make these claims.
Rajat Sethi, the campaign had a bit of an awkward moment when a lot of the bots that were responding, anybody who changed his name or used the same message that the Prime Minister sent out got an automated reply. Suddenly you had some of the biggest opponents of the Modi government getting a thank you note from the Prime Minister himself. Now that became a bit of a oops moment because these were visceral critics of the Modi government, all of whom were being thanked by the Prime Minister personally, in some senses for having attacked him.
Well, Rahul, just to give you a sense, please don't try to dissect the whole thing as to how many people responded in what way, mocking the whole thing. It's just a deep emotional hurt that was that the Prime Minister felt and a lot of his supporters felt, and everybody just came out spontaneously. It was a spontaneous movement. All right. So what I try to what I understood from this entire movement was that this is not just limited to Congress raising up allegations on corruption. It shows Congress has always been a party of elites. Every single thing that they utter is from a pedestal of elitism. And you saw a similar reaction when it came in from Manishankar Iyer in 2014 campaign. He said this chai wala can open a tea stall here. Now Manishankar Iyer has no impact on national politics. He cannot win any election. He cannot influence any voters. Nonetheless, that statement was picked up by BJP because, and they conducted a lot of these chai pe charcha after that comment. See, what happens is that when you start attacking the psyche, the conscience, which makes up an average Aam Aadmi of this country, it is then that the BJP is absolutely free to use that emotion and expose the elitism of Congress. And this is what they've been doing.
Okay, Shama Muhammad, is this a reflection of the elitism of the Congress? Earlier we had Manishankar Iyer say the Prime Minister is only worthy of selling tea. He took that, counter-attacked, and really turned it into a lot of trouble for the Congress throughout the 2014 campaign. Could the Maybe Chowkidar campaign of 2019 be a throwback to the Chaiwala campaign of 2014? Is
Rahul,
the Congress now in a bit of spot of bother for itself?
Rahul, I have a request. You must give me my time to speak like you give Mr. Nalin Kohli. Please don't cut me because I did not finish my statement. What I was trying to tell you is that when the responsibility, it was time for him to take on the responsibility that, there has been issues, and that's when he has shifted the whole blame onto the people. That's what is this maybe Chowkidar, because he has not kept any of his promises. So when it's 5 years, it's ending, and none of the promises which he had told to the people of this country have not been kept. He wants to do the maybe Chowkidar by shifting the blame onto the people, and it's completely wrong, and it's going to backfire on him. And number two, it's the same case with the jobs. When there were no 2 crore jobs, again, it's a kind of pattern. He told the people to go and fry pakodas. He's asking PhDs to go and fry pakodas. So this is a kind of pattern in which when he's not able to, even when he came into office in the first 8 months, Mr. Raghuram Rajan gave him the names of the defaulters who have who have done the fraudulent loans from our banks. But he didn't not. An RTI replied to that, says that the PMO has not taken any action against these defaulters. So he has basically done nothing. He did not appoint a Lokpal till now. When he is about to leave, comes a Lokpal. So this is what I'm trying to say, is that he wants to put the blame onto the people right now. That's what he's doing, and that is
in
very,
its
very
real life is manifested through a Lokpal. All the 5 years of the Modi Sarkar passed, at the fag end, under duress and pressure from the Supreme Court, the Modi government announced the name of a new Lokpal who will be appointed in some time from now. If you were serious about being a Chowkidar and the Lokpal is supposed to be a Chowkidar, why did the Modi government over the last 5 years, when it had an opportunity, not appoint a Lokpal? Nalin Kohli.
I wouldn't have expected that question from you, Rahul, because you do your research. And if you had just done your research on this subject, you would have found that this bill was further amended retrospectively in 2017, and most of the meetings actually never took place because Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge of the Congress party, who's not designated as the leader of opposition, actually was stuck. I should be designated as the leader of opposition.
The BJP resorted to a technicality to keep Mallikarjun Kharge away. If you'd given him the status of leader of opposition, he would have come. You wanted to score a political point and you did not do that. If you were serious about being the Chowkidar, you would have appointed a Lokpal on the first day of coming to power. You did not for 5 years, Nalin Kohli.
No. Well then, for my counter argument is in the very first cabinet meeting of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the SIT for black money was done. For 3 years, the Congress did not. So you have the same standard from the first day. Where eventually Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge sat in it. When it went up to the Supreme Court and it was agreed, he went as a such, I didn't interrupt. I can't get into a debate like this.
Shama Mohammed, what's your problem? We can't debate like this. Can't you just calm down? When I come to you, you will speak. 1 second, both of you. Shama Mohammed, this is not how I like debating. I will give you a fair opportunity. You will not plead victim and then interrupt somebody else's conversation. This is not how we will run debates. Nalin Kohli, the argument doesn't hold because the SIT is different from a Lokpal. A Lokpal would have been the one manifestation of the Prime Minister actually wanting an independent Chowkidar. You did not, throughout your 5 years of being in power, appoint a Lokpal. Nalin Kohli.
No, well, my argument is in terms of the thinking of the government, and I'm pointing out it required an amendment which happened in 2017. Amendment happens by Parliament, not in the BJP's executive committee. So therefore, I'm making a fair point. Now, you may not accept it, you are entitled to, but I'm giving you the counter argument. Now, let's also come back to the issue in terms of what Swati ji was saying. She feels that this is a corrupt government, that it is Nirav Modi, etc. Swati ji would do well to inform the nation who gave the loans to Nirav Modi and the majority of it. How is it that the total amount of loans, which is given by banks in India, was only 18 lakh crores up to 2008? And it went up to 54 lakh crores in 2011, between 2009 and 2011, what the Prime Minister calls phone banking. So here's it's very funny. The government of the Congress, which goes ahead and immediately ruins the banking system by giving 3 times the loans. Then after, when the government of Modi starts chasing them, you start asking them, oh, you're delaying it. So you can't have it both ways. Either you have to point out who gave the loans and who caused the NPAs and who caused the collapse of it, and you hold the blame there. And then you have to reward the one who does it. That's what the Chowkidar movement is about.
Because if this
there was another point on jobs. I'll happily answer that if you give me the time.
No, 1 second. If this is just about how many impressions were recorded on which hashtag, it's very clear that Chowkidar Phir Se is winning. 3 lakh impressions for Chowkidar Phir Se. Main Bhi Chowkidar is 1.46 million impressions. Chowkidar Chor Hai is only 1,69,173 impressions. So what's very clear, Swati Chaturvedi, if this is just about the ability to populate a hashtag and make it go viral, the BJP social media army and their supporters are winning this war hands down.
Well, Rahul, I want to make 3 points. First of all, the BJP site has been down for 15 days. So, I don't know what they're doing there with Digital India as their, one of their calling cards. Second of all, what I want to say is that when you have Yedurappa saying maybe Chowkidar, people will start laughing. The man went to jail for corruption. Then you have MJ Akbar saying maybe Chowkidar. He's every mother's nightmare as a Chowkidar. But I want to answer Mr. Kohli. Mr. Kohli said that, the loans to Nirav Modi were given to the Congress. I have no brief with that. But the Serious Fraud Office wrote to India during the Modi regime saying they will arrest Nirav Modi. Mr. Modi's PMO did nothing. Raghuram Rajan, Shama was talking about the Rajan list, I broke that story. The Rajan list was given to Mr. Modi 8 months in his tenure. Till date, he asked for a coordinated investigation, nothing has been done. So, when they talk about battling corruption, people who cover this can only start laughing.
I wish to respond.
Nalin Kohli, what's with your website? It's been many days and you still haven't been able to get your website back into action. Even if a hacker comes in, usually in 24 hours,
days.
The website is back and on again. What's happening, Nalin Kohli?
I don't know, because I haven't spoken to Amit Malviya. But I mean, if you wish to know, I can always call him and let you know after the show. Because Amit looks after the entire IT in terms of social media
it's
and
been
IT.
15 days.
So he would know whether it's a revamp or there is something being changed in it. So I can't comment. Maybe, but then we are probably preparing also for the election. I can't give you an answer because I don't know. So the better person to ask is Amit Malviya. The second is about the Serious Fraud Office story. And I can say it with a sense of responsibility that someone extremely senior who should know about this was briefing us about it. This is a story of an unnamed person, nobody knows who, having said something which is not corroborated and then saying that this is the Serious Fraud Office. And I can say to the sense of responsibility here, please produce that exact person who it is. So this is like writing a story, whoever wrote it, and I don't know who's written it, is out there to say that I heard this is some person who is not identified, who doesn't exist in that place, saying something which the government of India should have acted on. I mean, come on, there's a limit to it. Show us a letter of the Serious Fraud Office writing to the government and the government not doing it. Prime Minister Modi's government is clear, unequivocal, and has been consistent in its approach. You wouldn't have had Christian Mission here in the first place. As someday it's going to be
Deepak
Malia
Talwar
and
is
Nirav
back
Modi
in
and
India.
others.
Christian Michel is back in India. Swati Chaturvedi, this is more than any previous government did. Whenever anybody would leave in the past, nobody came back. Here, 2 people are back, others they're trying to get back, which is more than what previous governments have done, Swati.
Agreed. Fine, I give the Modi government credit for that, but I also want an answer, Rahul, as to why the Rajan list, which is sent by the RBI governor, of the biggest fraudster, scamster, defaulters, nothing was done. I mean, he's had 5 years to do it. He's not even sent it to the CBI, to the Enforcement Directorate, or anywhere. The PMO just sat on that list. Will Mr. Kohli tell us why?
Okay, Nalin, respond.
Come in.
I find it a fascinating discussion. Swati ji started with 3 attacks on my government. 4 actually. 3 of them I have answered. The 4th one I don't have the information she expects me to answer. The first place is on the 3, she has not had a substantive counter argument. So I would be prone to believe just by the law of averages, the 4th one also may not be correct in the manner it's being projected. She is the author of it.
Okay.
That's not an answer, Nalin. That's not an answer,
No, but
Nalin.
at least he's
That's
being
not an answer.
magnanimous enough to say he doesn't know the answer and he promises to find out what
Can I
the
come in?
answer. No, one second. What the answer could be. Let's just come back to the Chowkidar debate. Do you believe, Rajat Sethi, that the Chor versus Chowkidar debate could be one of the important themes of the campaign over the next few weeks? The Prime Minister's taken the position of the Chowkidar. Do you believe this will be the chai pe charcha kind of moment that it becomes one of the central themes of the campaign?
Well, I think Prime Minister Modi is a deeply emotional person, and he has he has realized that these constant jibes from Rahul Gandhi, unnecessarily trying to rake up this Chowkidar emotion, hasn't served any purpose for Rahul Gandhi. But he can certainly take it up and make it a point that every Chowkidar of this nation, which includes all of us, you sitting in a studio guarding against fake news, you yourself are a Chowkidar. I am also a Chowkidar. I am guarding on certain specific things so that the Congress regime doesn't come back to power in this state, because they have looted and created the worst of the communal tensions in this state. So all of us are Chowkidar here. Rahul, and we
Shama
believe
Mohammed, suddenly you've got lots of people on social media and elsewhere saying, "Main bhi Chowkidar. I am also a Chowkidar." You know that the Congress has this problem of having to counter the elitist tag. The chai wala attack was elitist. The Prime Minister and his supporters will make it seem as if they are on the side of the poor, the downtrodden, the Chowkidar, whereas the Congress is on the side of the rich.
Isn't it our government which has promised a minimum wage when we come to power? We are the ones who give Manrega. So how can you say that we are elitist? We have always, the Food Security Act was done by the Bharatiya Janata Party. It was our government. So where can you say we are elitist? It is a thing which they try to put on to us and say they used to, before they came to power, they would say Luton's Delhi, Luton's. Where is Mr. Amit Shah staying? Where is the Prime Minister staying? They're all in Luton's Delhi. So stop this. This is the people of this country is not going to believe you. And one more thing, Mr. Kohli, with regards to Nirav Modi, the FIR was filed for the 2016 letter of understandings, not when we were in power. So let's not forget that. And Christian Michel, the case is closed in Italy. The case started in Italy with Giuseppe Orsi being the prime suspect. He's been acquitted. Why do we need a Christian Michel when he said that I've been under duress to give out Mrs. Gandhi's name? So getting the wrong people, which for a case which has been closed, and let's not forget in Augusta Westland, our defense minister at that time, Mr. A.K. Antony, had a CBI probe. He was even ready for a JPC when Mr. Jaitley said we do not want a JPC. We are very transparent. Whenever there has been allegations of scam, we immediately stop the deal, not like you where you have not done anything to stop the Rafael's deal. We stopped the Augusta Westland and we went in. So this is how we are transparent.
Let me tell you that that's not necessarily a good thing, because you held up many very important weapon purchases because you didn't want to get your hands dirty. Because there was a whiff of a scam and St. Anthony stopped the deal. It's the Indian Air Force, the Indian Army and the Navy that had to suffer. So what you are making out to be a virtue is actually a big negative on the side of the Congress, Shama Mohammed. That so much of our weapon purchase got delayed because of inaction, because of the inability to take a decision. Nalin Kohli, final counter and then I wrap up.
Christian Michel out here then? You already spoke about Christian Michel being brought back to the country. Then that is not important.
I have a few.
Isn't it, Rahul Kanwal?
May I?
Then getting the Christian Michel back to the country is not
Rahul,
important.
it can't be like this. I can't answer. Shama's going to talk over me all the time.
Nalin Kohli.
Thank you. Let me start with Christian Michel. So you have the Congress party's legal head guy, some gentleman go to defend Christian Michel. When there is a media outcry, then he hurriedly resigns from it. And then a chit is found from Christian Michel handling it to this gentleman saying, I'm not interrupting, it's impossible to debate with Shama Mohammed. I mean, I have to have the decency to be able to answer
Shama,
that.
you are smiling as if you're doing a great thing. You're actually being very juvenile and asinine in this debate, Shama. I don't know what sort of silly wry smile you've got, making it seem as if you've done a great thing. Every viewer who's watching is exasperated by your actions. You must behave like a mature debater. You must be a proper, serious politician. You're lowering the standard of this debate and it's quite pathetic.
You interrupted me, Rahul. You should
allow him to counter. Since the time this debate started, till the time you went off on a tangent, I did not say a word. You've been interrupting every sentence that he's trying to utter. Your fader goes down. Please behave responsibly. Don't lower the standard of the debate. Shama Mohammed.
You also have to behave responsibly.
I am behaving very responsibly. Till the time you went off on a tangent, I did not interrupt you even once a fader goes down. I'm not arguing with you. You've had your say. Listen to Nalin Kohli.
So my first point was on Christian Michel. Here is the Congress party's head of the legal cell or something important there, who goes out to immediately help him out with his bail and all. When the media points out that he's from the Congress party, holds an official position there, immediately he hurriedly shows his resignation. Thereafter, the Christian Michel tries to give him a slip, which is supposed to be for medicines, which is specifically asking, what do I answer if they ask me about Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi? He's asking for instructions from his lawyer, specifically who's the head of the legal cell, and just resigned. I mean, it should raise questions. Does nobody want to know who are the bribe takers? Here is the man who's received some few 100 crore rupees for what? And here managing a contract, and now there are reports coming that the Rafael deal was actually stopped in 2012 because this same gentleman was possibly helping another rival company come and to get into the tender process. So let's not take lessons from the Congress party. Let's talk of Manrega. In Manrega, who has put the direct benefit transfer in terms of it so that the leakages can stop? Oh, we promised this. Garibi Hata was promised in 1971. So was bank nationalization so that poor people can have accounts. Who opened the 40 crore plus Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana accounts? Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Congress would do well to actually implement. It
So
can't
this
be
is
always
where
as
we
the
wrap
leader
up
believes. It's
this
in my
debate.
head, the plan of India, which is
Just as
buzzing
far
around
as
like
the
this.
Chowkidar social media Twitter debate is concerned, the BJP won hands down. The Main Bhi Chowkidar hashtag receiving about 1.5 million mentions. The Chowkidar Chor hai receiving about 1,63,000, so much lesser. And the Chowkidar Phir Se receiving 3 lakh plus mentions. This is at this moment, at least on Twitter, the Prime Minister's counter-attack winning the debate. Whether this translates into a victory on the hustings, that of course we'll know only on the 23rd of May. It worked for him when he did the Chaiwala counter-attack. Let's see if the Chowkidar attack also becomes one of the running themes of this election. Swati Chaturvedi, Rajat Sethi, Shama Mohammed and Nalin Kohli for joining me on the Newstrack debate. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.